Mbappe is finally leaving PSG. Is he going to move to Madrid? Well, we've definitely thought that in the past. In 2016, Kylian Mbappe introduced himself to the footballing world as the next promising player to come out of France. An electrifying campaign from AS Monaco, which saw them reach the semi-final of the Champions League, beating a favored Man City side in the process, as well as lifting the Ligue 1 trophy, stopping PSG from acquiring their 5th in a row. Despite having talented players across the pitch, it was Kylian Mbappe who was grabbing headlines for the French side. A 19-year-old forward with pace unlike anyone else and a goal-scoring ability that one would expect from a seasoned striker instantly grabbed the attention of every major club across the world. It had become clear that Mbappe wasn't just some promising player. The footballing world had just been introduced to the face of football for the next generation. A status like this, one would assume that a player would join a select handful of clubs, one of those being Real Madrid, famous for the Galacticos like Ronaldo, both Cristiano and R9, Roberto Carlos, Beckham, and so on. The likes of Maradona even suggested to Florentino Perez that he should sign Mbappe.
Yo le digo a Florentino, ficha Mbappé.
¿Se lo dijiste?
Pero se lo dije.
Although Perez didn't seem too interested as he had the firepower of Ronaldo and Bale at the time. From this point forward, we would see the constant flirting with Real Madrid coming from Mbappe, who everyone knew was a fan of the club. However, Mbappe would rather make a move from AS Monaco to his hometown club, Paris Saint-Germain. Here, Mbappe would have the opportunity to build not only his own legacy, but also that of a club which had been in the spotlight for quite some time now as serial underachievers in the footballing world. Although it made sense for Mbappe to choose PSG over Madrid and other clubs at the time, there was still a constant feeling that he would eventually make the move to Spain. With Mbappe finally announcing that he's leaving PSG and the move being to Madrid, I wanted to go over how Mbappe essentially finessed both clubs out of a major payday by placing them in a constant back and forth battle over his services. I'll be touching on Mbappe's time at PSG and briefly for France, as this is essentially what allowed him to build up his stock at such a high degree. And boys, if you're new to the channel and you do enjoy this type of content, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Helps me see what type of videos to make for you guys, and overall it helps the channel grow a ton. With that being said, let's get into Mbappe and how he played both clubs to get his payday. In the summer of 2017, Mbappe joined PSG on a season-long loan where PSG had the option to make the move permanent at the end of the season for £166 million. This was an extremely exciting time to be a PSG fan, as in the same summer, although controversially, PSG also acquired Neymar for €222 million. This transfer sent shockwaves throughout the footballing world, but that's a story for another time. Mbappe was not going to be paired alongside Neymar essentially in his prime, Edison Cavani, who was still a world-class striker capable of causing any defender problems on his day, and Angel Di Maria as well. All signs pointed to Mbappe having a legacy-defining run at just age 19. With this squad, particularly this attacking lineup, many Parisians pictured that this could be the season where they finally obtained the trophy that had been escaping them for so long, the Champions League. This season was almost perfect for PSG. They managed to capture their 7th league title in a row and scored a club record high 108 goals during this season. However, they ultimately failed in the Champions League. Despite a nearly perfect group stage outing, they were knocked out in the round of 16 by none other than Real Madrid, adding more fuel to the fire that was the awkward relationship between Mbappe and Madrid. The following season would be another brilliant individual feat from Mbappe, as he would go on to register 39 goals and 17 assists across 43 games and all appearances. It was becoming clear with a monstrous campaign like this one that Mbappe was undoubtedly living up to the potential that was shown with Monaco. However, there was still some criticisms to be had. For example, considering how easily PSG coasted to their league title, the French league did not have the best reputation. Hence why people had been placing a huge importance on Mbappe's ability to bring PSG a Champions League title. Well, the following season for PSG saw another round of 16 exit, this time losing to United in quite embarrassing fashion. I remember vividly watching both legs of the game. The first one pissed me off because Angel Di Maria did that freaking bottle celebration. They were going into the second leg 2-0 up, and United had to beat them in Paris. Individual mistakes from PSG honestly costed them the game. Ole ball shined through and we managed to beat them. I actually purchased this kit after that game because this is the jersey that we were wearing when we came back. But for PSG, this was a really shambolic loss. It resulted in that one Neymar meme, the one where he's looking around all scared. Add to this the fact that they also lost the final of the Coup de France on penalties, and people wanted to see Mbappe really challenge himself. The upcoming World Cup would help Mbappe's legacy more than ever. In the 2018 World Cup, Mbappe was part of an absolutely ridiculous French team. On paper, this team looked like it was going to be unstoppable, and they went to prove just that. Coming off losing the Euro final in 2016, the French national team had a point to prove. They would go undefeated the entire competition and lifted the trophy when all was said and done. Mbappe would register 4 goals in the competition, and through his performances showed that he was going to be a force to be reckoned with on the world's brightest stage. Having now fully cemented his name in the footballing record books, Mbappe's stock was higher than ever before. To follow this monumentous moment for Mbappe, the 2019-2020 season was shaping up to be the one where everything would finally come together. Registering 30 goals and 18 assists in 37 games, Mbappe yet again proved to play a crucial part in PSG's success this season. Winning Ligue 1, Coupe de France, Coupe de la Ligue, all they needed was one more trophy to put on top of the pile. However, despite reaching the Champions League final, PSG would lose 1-0 to Bayern Munich. This was a game where many felt Mbappe and co really let themselves down. This now would be Mbappe's third failure in the Champions League in a row. Also, my apologies if you feel like I'm glancing over things a little bit quickly. I'm essentially just providing context to how Mbappe would end up leveraging his time at PSG to have these talks with Real Madrid. If you want a more in-depth video about PSG and their failures, Maxwell's video is a real piece of art right here. But back to Mbappe. Going into the 2021 season for Mbappe, things seem to be in an odd place. Despite being arguably the best player in the world at this point in time, the footballing community still felt that his achievements fell short of what others were doing. This season, everything would come to a head. Despite an amazing individual campaign of 42 goals and 11 assists in 47 games, PSG and Mbappe would fail to win the league. Considering how poor the reputation was for the quality of Ligue 1, the inability to coast to another title was definitely a bad strike for Mbappe. Add to this a semi-final exit from the Champions League, and you really had to wonder what was going to be next for Mbappe and PSG after 4 years of failing to win it all. Well, the summer 2021 transfer window saw rumors spreading of Mbappe looking to force his way out of PSG. Many speculated that he was looking to join Real Madrid. This is the point where we begin to see Mbappe essentially rinse both clubs as much as he could. Going into the season, Mbappe had yet to renew his contract, which was going to be up the following summer. However, PSG owner Al Khelaifi, sorry if I mispronounced that, insisted that he wasn't for sale. Despite PSG signing Messi in the summer, Mbappe had still not renewed his contract. In the final weeks of the transfer window, Perez and Madrid finally came knocking once more. After having an initial offer of 100 million euros ignored by PSG, Perez would raise his hand to 200 million euros in hopes to persuade the French side to release Mbappe. However, PSG remained stubborn and Madrid would fail in their pursuit of Mbappe. One could say that Mbappe could have easily forced his way out of PSG by missing trainings and games, as many other stars who look to force their way out of clubs typically do, at least if he really wanted it. But for Mbappe, who was making 617,000 euros a week at that point, he figured he'd be better off seeing the rest of his contract and exploring the options once his commitment to PSG was over. So with Mbappe's contract running out, he shocked the footballing world on May 21st, 2022. Despite growing talks with Real Madrid, Mbappe would announce his 3-year, 250 million euro PSG contract extension. This extension would also make Mbappe one of the most powerful people at PSG, not just from a player standpoint, but also from behind the scenes. At this point, it really felt like Mbappe had been playing Real Madrid for the last year by flirting with him in order to leverage that for a better deal with PSG. Many Real Madrid fans felt that this was a final slap in the face from Mbappe, since the recent talks felt as if they were finally going to materialize. This extension would also lead to La Liga investigating Mbappe's new deal under financial fair play, clearly showing that Real Madrid were truly banking on securing the signature of Mbappe this time around. While Madrid suffered, Mbappe would enjoy the newfound power that he had behind the scenes. Mbappe would go on to sack Leonardo, PSG sporting director, as well as then manager Pochettino. Clearly, Mbappe was going to make the most out of his newfound power. Despite Mbappe securing a 3-year extension and rinsing PSG for absolutely everything, there was still a sentiment that the saga with Real Madrid was not over by any means of the imagination. For whatever reason, the footballing world still thought that Mbappe was simply looking to secure one more major bag from the French side, and I suppose in hindsight they were probably right. In the next 2 seasons, PSG and Mbappe would still fail to win the Champions League that has been evading them forever. In fact, in the 21-22 season, the year Mbappe made his major announcement, they would lose in the round of 16 again to Real Madrid, who would go on to win the entire thing. Since his contract extension and newfound power, things haven't been entirely peachy for Mbappe. The Frenchman even found himself at odds with PSG, as the promotional campaign, which looked to convince season ticket holders to renew, left Mbappe very unhappy. In the summer of 2023, Mbappe informed the club that he would not be engaging the 1-year extension option in his contract, meaning that this will be Mbappe's final season playing for Paris. This will be his final opportunity to bring Champions League glory to a club he has rinsed for hundreds of millions. After the season, Kylian Mbappe will finally be be making his move to Real Madrid, more than likely earning a substantial amount of money every week. In the end, who really wins? Kylian Mbappe's pockets. Mbappe is undoubtedly the face of football for this generation alongside Haaland. Mbappe is a freak of nature who has shown time after time that his ability on the pitch is not to be questioned. However, his intentions during this whole saga have led to both clubs essentially looking silly and ultimately spending hundreds of thousands to try and secure his services. PSG pretty much gave everything they possibly could to Mbappe under the pretense that he would be staying at his hometown club and bring them the glory that they have been chasing. The only thing that they probably could have offered him that they didn't was to make him president of France. Real Madrid, on the other hand, had been bending over backwards for Mbappe, was acting like he doesn't care about the club, despite the world knowing that he is a fan. Mbappe has been driven by the money that PSG has just been throwing at him, and I don't blame him in that regard, because who really passes up 250 million euros in just 3 years of work? However, having to circle back multiple years in a row for Mbappe really shows that Madrid has been incredibly desperate in their pursuit, or persistent, I guess, however you want to put it. Now, they will be spending hundreds of millions to try and match Mbappe's wage that he used Madrid to earn in the first place. Again, leaving Mbappe as the ultimate winner. I'm sure a lot of you guys are excited to see Mbappe in a new league, in a new setting, especially in that Real Madrid team with the likes of Jude, Tchouameni, Valverde, Vini, so on and so on. You guys can let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. When should Mbappe have moved? Is Real Madrid going to be the right choice? And would you take Mbappe at your club? Again, boys, if you enjoyed the video, if you made it this far, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to be dropping tons of video essays this month, as well as a bunch of footballing news. Here's my Instagram, here's my Twitter. Make sure you guys drop a follow. Thank you both for watching. Peace.